Spraybandalz.com is the place to get your graffiti supplies. Anything you need, spray paint, markers, mops, stickers, Youfo merch, everything, man. And I've got a discount code you can use, 15% off your entire order. The link's at the top of the comments below. Thank you TSV for sponsoring this video. So I've done a video like this in the past, but since YouTube made me delete a bunch of different videos that expand across the Youfo channel due to not complying with the YouTube policies or whatnot, I figured I'd give this video a go again. So here it is, 10 things no one tells you about graffiti. Number 1, the risk of arrest. Graffiti is obviously considered vandalism, especially when done without permission. For graffiti writers, the constant risk of being caught by police is real and sometimes stressful. They might have fun running from the security, hiding their supplies, or using lookouts. But of course, if you're caught, they could face fines, criminal records, and depending on how strict the laws are, prison time. This makes the entire process feel like a cat and mouse game and can deter people out there from doing graffiti. Not to say that it stops anyone, it's just kind of a deterrent. A lot of graffiti writers out there tend to stay off the internet, or if they're on the internet, they're very secretive about who they are. For example, if you wanted to try find your favorite graffiti writer that you see their graffiti on the streets, you see it around, they're notoriously known within your local scene, chances are you're not going to find him on Instagram, you're not going to find him on YouTube. He may have Instagram or YouTube, but they probably keep it so secret that no one can really find it except their close friends. Number 2, the physical danger. Many graffiti spots are chosen for visibility or challenge. Train yards, bridges, high rooftops, tunnels. These places are often not well lit. Obviously, these places aren't structurally safe or easy to access. You have to climb some fences, run across tracks, hang from ledges, putting the graffiti writer's life at risk. Also adding in the rush of trying to finish a piece quickly to avoid being seen, and this risk obviously multiplies. But keep in mind, this kind of goes with the whole point of graffiti. If you want to risk it, you can risk it. If you want to do dangerous spots, you do those spots. But you don't have to do those spots. Are you an adrenaline junkie? Go for it. If you're not, go paint a chill drain. It's all good. Number 3, lack of recognition. Because graffiti is so widespread and there's so many graffiti writers out there, you really have to do stuff that's above and beyond these days, which is almost impossible. And even if you're really fresh, there might be a chance that you don't get that recognition that you think you deserve. A lot of graffiti writers use a lot of elements within a graffiti piece that others use as well. But who's to say what is fresh and what is not fresh? If you personally think something's fresh, then it's fresh. If someone else thinks it's not fresh, then it's a very opinionated thing. Number 4, rapid removal. Graffiti often doesn't last long in certain places, especially in urban areas where cleanup crews are constantly on the job. A piece that took you hours or even certain amounts of days going back and forth to the piece to plan and execute might be gone within 24 hours. For many graffiti writers, it's discouraging to see their efforts erased so quickly. This creates a constant cycle of create and lose, which can lead to burnout or feeling that their voice isn't being respected. But you'll often find that this is also not a bad aspect of graffiti, because this actually drives a lot of graffiti writers to keep painting. Number 5, the harsh criticism of the scene. Even within the graffiti community, there's a lot of judgment. Different crews or individuals might criticize each other's style, placement, or execution. I feel like this is something that happens in every single hobby out there. A lot of ego gets involved, and even if your stuff is actually fresh, there's always going to be someone within the scene who's got something to say about it. Even if it's backhanded comments, even if it's behind your back, or even if it's just straight to your face. Number 6, expensive materials. Yes, I know a lot of graffiti writers just rack their stuff, but a lot of people these days just pay for their supplies. And a 6-pack of loop is about 40 to 50 bucks these days. You can get slightly cheaper paint, but it's gonna cost you, between 40, 50, 60 for a 6-pack of paint. And with this knowledge, graffiti is not cheap. High quality spray paint, specific caps, there's so much stuff that can add up really fast. Many graffiti writers are just the average working class. Some of them don't work, some of them work, and at this day and age, most people in general are just struggling financially. So keeping up with this hobby to keep practicing sometimes becomes a burden. Number 7, Territory issue. Graffiti culture is territorial. Crews and individual writers claim certain walls, neighborhoods, or buildings. Accidentally painting at someone's spot without asking them can spark beef. Sometimes verbal, sometimes physical, and honestly, it seems like most of the time it's online these days. Respect and reputation matters in graffiti, and one wrong move can put an artist on a crew's radar in the worst way. This adds pressure and danger, especially for newer or independent writers. Number 8. Limited legal walls. There's very few places in the world where graffiti writers can paint legally. A lot of graffiti writers don't really choose to paint these walls because they're often restricted and are generally overcrowded. Number 9. Stereotypes and stigma. Even when graffiti is beautiful or thoughtful, many people still see it as a dirty, criminal, or worthless crime. Graffiti writers are often lumped into a stereotype of pure vandals or gang members, which can lead to being treated unfairly by the public, media, or police. That stigma can even affect job prospects, school, or relationships. It's often frustrating for artists who are trying to do something chill and creative, but keep getting judged for the medium they use. And number 10, creative burnout. Graffiti requires constant evolution, new styles, new tags, fresh ideas. On top of that, graffiti writers face the pressure of staying relevant in a fast-paced, highly competitive scene. Combine that with the physical and legal risks, lack of public recognition, and the constant removal of their work, it's easy to burn out, especially if graffiti is your one and only hobby. Graffiti writers may feel like they're spinning their wheels, always painting, always hustling, but never being able to progress onto the next sketch up, which is what I personally struggle with. I sit here for hours trying to sketch up a new sketch so I can move away from the straight letter kind of thing that I've been doing for quite a while now. It's really hard to move on and find something else that works for you. Really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've watched all the way to the end, leave a little comment saying printed apple. That's the first thing that came to mind, saying printed apple. No idea what that means. Just to let you guys know, I have a Patreon, or you can join the channel to become a channel member. You'll get access to videos that I only upload for my Patreon members and my channel members. It's a way to support me if you really feel like it, or if you simply just want to buy a sticker pack or a canvas if I've got any for sale at this point in time. That's another way to do that as well. Thank you for the support. I honestly think YouTube's starting to shadow ban my stuff again. I've really enjoyed working on this video here. It's called How Graffiti Influenced Video Games, and it never really lifted. No one really saw the video. So I'd really appreciate if you guys, if you haven't already watched it, to go ahead and watch it. I actually had a lot of fun creating that video because it was something completely different out of my typical video making. And I especially enjoyed doing it because it's on one of my favorite PlayStation games. And I generally think that I did an alright job, but obviously YouTube isn't being my homie. So I figured I'd just promote it on this video just in case. Thank you very much for the support, guys. In that game at face value, you're really only mainly capping people with the W or putting up the W for the gang, and you can do that with just about anyone that you play as within the game. But the main person within the gang, who is the graffiti writer of them all, is Rembrandt, and there actually is a handful of missions that you have to complete in order to progress.